On March 23, 2025, Istanbul Mayor Ekrem Imamoglu, one of the most prominent political figures in Turkey, was officially jailed, setting off one of the most intense political crises the country has seen in over a decade. But the story isn't just about the arrest, it's about the fierce protests, the divided nation, and the increasing tension between Turkey's opposition and President Erdogan's government. Early on Sunday, as news of Imamoglu's arrest broke, opposition supporters gathered outside the Istanbul municipality, demanding justice. What followed was chaos. Turkish police stormed the crowd using tear gas and force to push back protesters. Some were even dragged off the streets, a clear signal of how far the government is willing to go to suppress the opposition. The streets of Istanbul became a battleground. Police used heavy force to disperse protesters, including deploying pepper spray on those who dared to challenge the government.
Tabii haberi de şimdi aldık. Tutuklama çıktı. Hukuk sistemimiz adına utanıyoruz açıkçası. Çünkü yargılama esnasında gördük ki soruşturmanın gizliliği kavramı var. Hazırlık soruşturmaları gizlidir. Ancak oradaki ifade adeta 5 dakika sonra bütün Türkiye'ye servis yapıldı.
For many, this scene felt like a moment of reckoning, a moment that would define Turkey's future.
Sadece şunu bilmenizi istiyorum. Alnımız ak, başımız dik. Haksız, hukuksuz yere alınan kararların hiçbir tarafı yoktur. Bütün alınan kararlar siyasidir. Biz yolumuza devam edeceğiz.
Imamoglu's arrest came after a court decision on charges of bribery, corruption, and leading a criminal organization, accusations that many see as politically motivated.
Adeta İtalyan mafya yöntemleriyle sen bana karşı aday olursan ben seni o gün tutuklatırım denmiştir.
Imamoglu himself has denied the charges, calling them baseless and unfounded. But his arrest has only fueled accusations that this is an attempt to silence his growing influence. His arrest didn't go unnoticed. His political allies quickly rallied to his defense. Mansur Yavaş, the mayor of Ankara, and another prominent figure in Turkey's opposition, expressed his shame over the country's judicial system. He called the trial unfair, claiming the accusations were crafted for political gain. For Yavaş and many others, this isn't just a legal issue, it's a fight for the future of Turkey's democracy. Imamoglu's wife, Dilek Imamoglu, also condemned the arrest, calling it a politically charged move that had nothing to do with justice. This is an injustice, she said, standing by her husband's innocence. But Imamoglu's supporters were not just vocal, they were determined. On the very same day as his arrest, the Republican People's Party, Imamoglu's party, held its primary elections. It was clear Imamoglu was the front-runner for the party's presidential candidate. Some believe this arrest was timed to prevent him from officially running, an act that many liken to a desperate move to weaken the opposition. Despite the jail time, Imamoglu's supporters were undeterred. In Istanbul and beyond, thousands of people went to the polls to vote in solidarity with their jailed mayor. They weren't just casting ballots, they were sending a message that even in the face of injustice, their fight for democracy would not be silenced. As Imamoglu was escorted to Marmara prison in Silivri, the stakes in this political showdown became painfully clear.
Haksızlığa uğrayan, hukuksuzluğa uğrayan, hak adalet hakkı yok edilen Ekrem İmamoğlu'na, Ekrem Başkanımıza destek için buradayız.
dinlediğim ve okuduğum kadarıyla altı boş suçlamalar, bir dayanağı olmayan, gizli tanıklara bağlı, delili olmayan suçlamalar. Onun için biz adaletten yanayız, hak ve hukuktan yanayız. Tek istediğimiz adalet.
This wasn't just about one man, it was about the future of Turkish politics. The question now on everyone's mind, will this arrest backfire on the Erdogan administration, or will it stifle opposition and solidify control? Imamoglu's arrest didn't just spark anger within Turkey. International leaders, particularly in Europe, condemned the move, calling it undemocratic and politically motivated. But what does this mean for Turkey's future? Will the country descend into further unrest, or will these protests become the rallying cry for a new era of politics? Özgür Özel, the chairman of the CHP, raised his voice, denouncing the arrest as an act straight out of a mafia playbook. He warned that this was a targeted attempt to remove one of the most formidable political figures Turkey has seen in years. And as the political temperature rises, it's clear that the battle for Turkey's political future is far from over. As the protests continue to grow, one thing is clear. The road ahead for Turkey is uncertain, but what remains undeniable is the power of the people. Whether or not Imamoglu's arrest succeeds in silencing his voice, it has already ignited a fire in the hearts of millions. So, what's next for Turkey? Will this arrest lead to more violence? Or will it spark a new wave of change in the country's political landscape? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure. The battle for Turkey's democracy is far from over. Stay tuned, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of the ongoing protests? And how do you see the future of Turkish politics unfolding? We want to hear from you.
Tabii haberi de şimdi aldık.